What up, YouTube? So, I don't know what day it is of this build, but this is the Honda GX 160 2020 Corona build, whatever challenge or whatever. Anyway, this is video like 75. It feels like I've been trying to take breaks from doing it because I wanted to show major progress or something that was actually worth viewing. I'm going to go over some of the things that I've had trouble with, how I fixed them, and the phone's going to die, so I better plug it in. Hold on, Taylor, I know it's cold. It's a couple days before Halloween, and now it was vaguely in the shape of a fucking, I don't even know if it looked like a go-kart frame. It was kind of like, I don't know, something. I mean, something. Basically, the only things that were left on this thing, besides tube steel, was it had steering arms. Yep. With no bushings. It had one lug nut. Yeah. Alright, so back to where we were at before I lose you guys. This is really important. We are on a Honda GX 160 build. We have done as many mods as we possibly can for as little as money as possible. Real quickly, hey guys, this is going to be in a different video. This right here is another 160, and see, it still has a restricted box, still has a restricted exhaust, but the internal governor and external governor have been removed, so we no longer are restricted here. This is a full 5200 RPM, I think that's what it goes. Getting into stage one, just waiting on parts. Alright, real quick. We started off with a complete nightmare of a frame, and had literally nothing left but steering arms, like I said. Not one lug nut. Let me show this garage. Well, no, my wife will get pissed. I'm gonna just leave it open. She'll think I'm gonna stay out here and work on it more. It's pretty early in the morning, and I have put a lot of time and effort into this. I've never done anything like this before. And before we go over what I've done, trials and tribulations, and where we're at, well, let's just see where we're at now. If you guys seen the first video, then this should be a shocker. So we'll start off with this is my Honda GX 160 2020 build, and it has tried me in every single way possible. We started, basically I got this, had it a long time ago. Dad took it, or vice versa, I can't remember. It was on a log splitter, didn't run for 12 years. Got it here, sold the log splitter, kept the heart for the main purpose of the Honda build, and it was grimy, dirty, nasty. Like I said, it hadn't run in 12 years. This bad boy, like I said in the last video, it had no gas in it, which was great. It had great oil in it, which was great, and it had great compression, even after 12 years of sitting. So we went ahead and we bought some Chinese, I think they're not OEM Honda parts, which all you freaking Honda lovers out there probably rolling around right now just laughing your asses off. But hey, until I can get the other ones rebuilt, like the Japanese carburetors, and get them, you know, jetted and in working order, this was the only option I had. I could have waited, but like I said, it's the end of November, or end of October. So if I want to get one good ride or two out of this thing, I gotta hurry, you know what I'm saying? At first it was like, it's not a rush, And the closer I got to it after the paint got on there, and it's more like, damn, it's falling into place. And then, well, we got into the mechanicals. I knew everything I needed to know about electricity and how a magneto worked. That's pretty much about it. So, without further ado, let's go over what we've done here. We have completely modified the air intake. This is our homemade dust cover. This is a Honda Titan, good for a GX 200, 160, pretty much all those motors, 120, they're all pretty much the same. It has the adaptable intake, the you know, they sell a little piece so that, you know, your choke doesn't come back off. We went ahead and made a tensioner screw so that puppy stays on there good. We have changed the coil and AC Delco plug, because the one that came in the kit with the carburetor shit was shitball. Taylor, get up here, girl. We went with the non-restricted, short, extremely loud, badass pipe. We have jetted the carb with a 90 jet versus the little pinhole dinky rinky that was in there. We have, let's see, extended the plate because the plate was up here. So I went ahead and tacked a Office Craftsman over here, junky little tank. Welded it in, got it mocked up where it sits right. Let's see, we had a clutch. Turns out 12 tooth clutch, 60 tooth sprocket, not right. If you guys want to know how to gear your rear ends so that way you get the most out of it without tearing up your clutch and you get long life, you know, just hit the like button and comment below what your question is. And I've went over this so much the past week and a half that I don't know it by heart, but I know a good portion of these freaking numbers, and I didn't realize there was so much that went into gearing a rear end, you know, tire size and all this good stuff. So anyway, let's see, we have installed these couple dollar pipe covers just because, you know, why not? Little extra cushion. We put risers here because I wanted to sit up a little bit higher there, probably 2 inches, you know. We installed the ever so, you know, seat belt just for extra measure. The tail light, turn signal, and brake light, which we're not going to use, but just the tail light there. We have modified this, like I said, hold on before I go any further. We have modified this motherfucker in such a way that we've saved as much money as we possibly can. It looks like there's a lot of money went into this, which there has been, but not nearly as much as what could have been. So, you know, we're into this thing like maybe 220 bucks, like period. That's with the frame and everything from the jump. So, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. We have made our own from Lowe's. I think it was known as Menards. We got this here orange hole with reflective on there. I took orange vinyl and I've made myself a waterproof flag. Not too bad. It turned out really well. Hooked it up to this spring here so that way it keeps it away from my extremely hot exhaust. And also down here I've made myself a spring back, so without spending any money. That was $2. On Amazon one 15 to 16, maybe to even $25 for one. That, in my opinion, wasn't nearly as nice. Could just because I made it, I don't know. Let's see, what else have we done? We have learned that it is not so fucking easy to put a throttle on this bitch if you don't know what you're doing, especially after removing the governor. The internal governor on this one has not been removed yet, simply for the sure fact that I wanted to put an OEM gasket back on without using gasket sealer. $6 a gasket. I might throw one in the cart, you know what I'm saying, when I make this next order for the tires and the seat, which that's what we're waiting on. And then remove the governor then. This one here, complete governor removal. If you guys want questions about that, super simple, bro. I mean, super simple. Predator 212s, Honda GX160s, 120s, 200s, they're all the same. Give a fuck. Japan and China version. Harbor Freight and whoever version. I don't know, whatever Honda dealers you guys got in town. Shout out to Thompson Honda. That's ours. I think it's Thompson Motorsports. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I got all my parts online, by the way. So, and the wife's vinyl cutter she got for Mother's Day has made some cool, you know, OEM decals, as you can tell, strictly from the Honda. You know what I'm saying? Which I just realized the middle the little finger's gone in the center there. That is fucking hilarious. Okay, we'll have to fix that. Alright, what else have we done? We have changed the carb, we have changed the plug, the coil, magneto. We have ran our own electrical because with the new switch that we got, this new switch came with extra hot wire coming off, which gave us the ability to run either a electric start or not electric start, but lights, you know, without having a battery or without having to have a charging system, which was pretty nice. So if we wanted to later on, we could add a stator, put a starter on here, which I have a little one that might come up in another video one day when I'm bored. I don't know. Let's see, where else are we at? We have a shit ton of work still left to do. It doesn't seem like much, but it is. We have went and got brake and foot pedals, which are not for this cart, but through some ingenuity, I got them to do that. When I got them put on, I thought, man, when I give it a brake, how in the world is it going to come back so I can give it more brake? So, came up with my own spring system because it didn't come with any shit like that at all. Nothing. I don't even think it came with hardware. Yeah, it came with a bolt. Pretty much good luck. Let's see. We have, along with the with that, we have found throttle cable, or I mean brake cable, which is, they sent me the shoe and they sent me the insulator for that brake line, but no freaking brake line. So they're supposed to be sending a new one. In the meanwhile, rip this one off a Lawn Boy. Seems to be fitting just fine, but we'll get into the problems here in a minute. Let's finish this first. All right, what else? We have ran all of our electrical, and like I said, we have some cool features to it now. Now it has some halo style lights, which are blue here around the ring. That'll be hooked up to a switch, and extremely bright off-road LED waterproof lights. Pretty cheap and inexpensive. Pretty badass, really. Went down to the old Tractor Supply just as this was going, just so we can have a rolling chassis, and I bought these two front tires for like 12 bucks a piece, $11 a piece, and found out that I like the way it sits. Works good with the style of what cart I'm going with, and I'm probably going to keep them, and then go with the 15-inch by 6-inch rear tire, because the gear ratio that I'm going with the 60 tooth and 10 tooth, that's about the best setup you can get. I've added in this bar because, you know, if somebody short gets in there and they roll it over, maybe we'll protect them. I don't know. I'm thinking about putting in maybe a triangle here, a cross member, or some kind of support here, just because in case it folds over like a pop can. Cheap metal. There's a handle off of a compressor I got off a buddy that didn't work. You can see it back here. No, it works just fine. So anyway, what else? Let's see. We've added a couple decals and da. Recently, I should have recorded this tonight, was the throttle. So here's the problem we ran into. I couldn't get it to idle for shit. And all the YouTube videos that I did find said that it was a dirty jet, or not main jet, but dirty pilot jet. And I mean, I could possibly believe that, because you're supposed to oil and clean out your filter before firing it up. Well, the oil's like $14 for one, and I only need it for one application. I mean, I'm probably gonna need the oil later on, but now that I got that other build, it still wouldn't have been worth my while to do it. So, you know, fuck that shit. I just kind of kept an eye on it and rinsed it out really well. And don't take that as something that you should do, because it's definitely not. You should just definitely go get the oil and stuff. I'm just really, really lucky to have as much done as I do, because we are poor. We haven't worked in a while, and this coronavirus has really fucked everything up. But it's taught me that if I put my mind to anything, just like you guys, dude, if I want it bad enough, I can get it. And that just goes for everybody. It's just the way that it is. You know, it's not the only thing we built this summer. You know, we built what's been told to me, one of the baddest ass 750 Katana moto bikes that I mean, it's really cool. For a Katana, I'll have to put some videos on YouTube or take a video. Right now it's been parked in a heated and cooling garage for the winter. I mean, because it's carbureted and all that good stuff, it's no 4, but it's not your average Katana, I'll say that. This is not your average cart. So anyway, back to the throttle. Had a buddy come over because I couldn't really figure out how in the hell it worked. I got the pedals mocked up, you know, I got them springing back, and I was like, how in the hell is this thing gonna work, right? So we spend an hour or so, me and him, trying to figure out how in the world to get this linkage bar, because there was a spring stretched, or I had, you know, it comes with your return spring and your pull spring, your gas spring or lever, and then it has a small spring around it. And I was so confident that maybe one of them was stretched or something that you know, I just had an epiphany what it was. I'll explain to you in a minute. That it wasn't working properly. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what I did, I couldn't get it to hook up to it, then, you know, and pull back and go back where I wanted it. So after we finally get it off, or get it done, we bypassed the linkage for the governor, which I didn't really want to go past the governor stage in this because it's such a light frame, and I mean, really, it's gonna freaking boogie. I mean, I don't think you guys really understand. I don't think I understand that a non-governed GX160 at top speed is around 70 some kilometers an hour. So that averages out to about 43 miles per hour. Now that's not with the aftermarket performance kit on there. So with stage 1 kit on there, I don't know, maybe 50, something like that, and a single seater about maybe a little less than 3 inches off the ground. Just saying. One more look here. So the rear tires will be replaced. Race seat might possibly go with a different style harness type of seat belt. Don't really want to spend any more money if I don't have to, but I will for safety. That's the one thing I will spend it for. Still need to get a toggle switch so that way we can kill the bright LEDs and just have the blue halos going. I got to finish up the wiring for the tail light and run them together with the other lights so they all run as unison. Back to this throttle though. So when you take off your intake, your restricted breather box, this thing here is your choke. And I've seen a lot of videos for where your motor would only run when it's choked, blah 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 blah, due to a dirty jet, 9 out of 10 times. Well, that may be so, but this was a brand new carburetor. Now, yes, it is not the Japanese OEM Honda motor carburetor, but at the same time, I pulled the old jet out, put the 90 jet in. It seemed to be just fine. I didn't really go over it and blow through it and check it, but that is something I will do just as soon as daylight breaks. It's really early in the morning, and when I fire this thing up, motherfucker, you'll know it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of them things that has to be done during the daylight in respected hours. So, what is it, girl? You see a mouse back there? For some reason, we have a mouse inside the garage. My little dog, Taylor. You're just not digging it right now. So anyway, back to the cart. Alright, so this whole thing ended up getting beat and banged around, and I thought I was going to have to get a new whole assembly here. And he had moved this around back here to this eyelet and had it pulling, you know, this way, which was fine. But as the next day, well, we fired it up. It's like 3 in the morning, and my wife was like, I don't think we should be doing that right now. So left, knowing it fired up, and we had throttle. When we pushed the pedal, that fucker moved. Now, after doing some research and and just fiddle farting around with it, I noticed that when I looked inside of here, with the choke open, when I pulled this back, it closed the flapper, which OEM is, there should be a little line right here that says a rabbit and a turtle. So right now it's on turtle. This is rabbit. So what was happening was the idle was extremely high, and and it wouldn't stay idling, like it was had bad fuel or a clogged jet or whatever. So a little bit more determination, found out that I had forgotten to put the intake gasket on, because there's a riser back here. You guys can see back in there that this line here and the distributor line kind of click into, and it kind of is a spacer between the actual carburetor itself and the main intake of the pucka motor. So we're getting ready to die again. Let me plug it back in. So, and the reason why that is that I had to take it out was because no more than I didn't have no room to add my bolts that hold this piece on. Right, you know, inside of here, there's 2 bolts, and with that spacer on there, I didn't have any room. There was no room to thread the bolt. So I went ahead and took that riser off, taking a chance. You know, hopefully it would have a good seal, which we do, I believe. But I did notice I was feeling a lot of air from running here. So looked up, you know, symptoms of stalling, dying, blah 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 blah. Decided to jet.